Senator Thomas Ashton, a man etched with the lines of countless battles fought and won, stood on the precipice of his final term. His office, a sanctuary of mahogany and leather, held the weight of decades spent navigating the treacherous waters of Washington, D.C. Ashton, with his silver hair neatly combed and piercing blue eyes that missed nothing, possessed a reputation as unyielding as steel. He was a rare breed in the political arena, a man of unwavering integrity, known for putting the needs of his constituents above personal gain or party lines. But even the most steadfast souls faced their twilight, and Ashton felt the encroaching shadows of age and disillusionment. He saw the corruption festering within the system, the compromises that chipped away at the very foundations of democracy, and the growing apathy among the populace. His spirit, once ablaze with idealism, now flickered with weariness. He wondered if his efforts had truly made a difference, if he had been tilting at windmills all along. The upcoming election loomed, and the pressure to secure his legacy mounted. Powerful forces were aligning against him, eager to replace his principled stand with their own self-serving agendas. Ashton knew that this would be the fight of his life, a final test of his commitment to the people he had sworn to serve. The challenger, Richard Harding, was a young, charismatic congressman with a carefully crafted image of a fresh-faced reformer. He was backed by wealthy donors and influential lobbyists who saw Ashton as an obstacle to their ambitions. Harding's campaign was a whirlwind of carefully orchestrated rallies, slick television ads, and social media blitzes. He promised change, opportunity, and a brighter future, but beneath the polished surface lay a ruthless pragmatism and a willingness to compromise his principles for political expediency. Harding understood the power of narrative, and he skillfully painted Ashton as an out-of-touch relic, clinging to outdated ideals. He accused the senator of being ineffective, of failing to bring jobs and prosperity to the state, and of being beholden to special interests. The attacks were relentless, designed to erode Ashton's support and undermine his credibility. Ashton refused to engage in mudslinging, preferring to focus on his record and his vision for the future. But he knew that he was fighting an uphill battle against a formidable opponent with deep pockets and a mastery of the modern political game. He also knew that the truth was often the first casualty in a political war. Ashton's closest confidante and chief of staff, Sarah Jenkins, was a woman of sharp intellect and unwavering loyalty. She had worked alongside the senator for over 20 years, witnessing firsthand his dedication, his sacrifices, and his unwavering commitment to doing what was right, even when it was unpopular. Sarah was fiercely protective of Ashton and deeply concerned about the toll the campaign was taking on him. She saw the fatigue in his eyes, the strain in his voice, and the moments of quiet despair when he questioned whether his efforts were worth the cost. "Senator, you can't let Harding get away with these lies," she urged him one evening, after another round of negative ads had aired. "The people deserve to know the truth about him and his backers." Ashton sighed, rubbing his temples wearily. "Sarah, I'm not going to stoop to his level. I won't engage in personal attacks or spread misinformation. That's not who I am, and it's not what I stand for." Sarah understood his principles, but she feared that his reluctance to fight dirty would be his undoing. "Senator, sometimes you have to fight fire with fire. Harding is playing to win, and he's not afraid to use any means necessary. If you don't defend yourself, you'll lose, and all the good you've done will be undone." The turning point came during a televised debate between Ashton and Harding. The format was familiar: opening statements, questions from a panel of journalists, and closing remarks. Harding, with his youthful energy and polished rhetoric, delivered his talking points flawlessly. He criticized Ashton's record, promised tax cuts and deregulation, and painted a rosy picture of economic prosperity. Ashton, in contrast, spoke with quiet conviction about the challenges facing the state, the need for responsible government, and the importance of protecting the vulnerable. He defended his record, highlighting his efforts to create jobs, improve education, and protect the environment. But it was during the question and answer period that the debate took an unexpected turn. A journalist confronted Harding with evidence linking him to a shady real estate deal that would benefit his wealthy donors at the expense of local residents. Harding stammered, denied the allegations, and tried to deflect the question, but the damage was done. The audience could sense his discomfort, his evasiveness, and his lack of credibility. Ashton, sensing an opportunity, gently pressed Harding on the issue, exposing the hypocrisy and self-interest that lay beneath his polished facade. The debate proved to be a watershed moment in the campaign. Harding's credibility plummeted, while Ashton's soared. Voters began to see through Harding's carefully crafted image, and recognized the senator's genuine commitment to public service. The polls shifted dramatically in Ashton's favor, and his campaign gained momentum. But the forces aligned against him were not ready to give up. In the final weeks of the campaign, a series of anonymous attack ads appeared on television and online, accusing Ashton of corruption and unethical behavior. The ads were vicious and personal, designed to damage his reputation and undermine his support. Ashton was shocked and hurt by the attacks, but he refused to be intimidated. He knew that the allegations were false, and he was determined to clear his name. He called a press conference and vehemently denied the charges, vowing to cooperate fully with any investigation. He also challenged Harding to denounce the ads and reveal the source of their funding. Harding, sensing an opportunity to capitalize on the controversy, remained silent, neither endorsing nor condemning the attacks. The investigation into the anonymous attack ads led to a shocking discovery. They had been funded by a shadowy organization with ties to Harding's campaign. The revelation sent shockwaves through the political world and further eroded Harding's credibility. Voters were outraged by the blatant attempt to smear Ashton and manipulate the election. The media turned on Harding, demanding answers and accountability. He was forced to deny any involvement in the scheme, but his denials rang hollow. Ashton, vindicated by the investigation, emerged as a symbol of integrity and resilience. His supporters rallied around him, and his campaign gained new energy. In the final days of the campaign, Ashton traveled across the state, speaking to packed rallies and town hall meetings. He spoke about his vision for the future, his commitment to public service, and his belief in the power of democracy. He reminded voters that their voices mattered, that their choices could make a difference, and that they had the power to hold their elected officials accountable. Election day arrived, and the state held its breath. The turnout was massive, as voters lined up for hours to cast their ballots. The atmosphere was charged with anticipation and excitement. As the polls closed and the votes were counted, the tension mounted. The early returns showed a close race, with Ashton and Harding neck and neck. But as the night wore on, Ashton began to pull ahead. By midnight, it was clear that he had won. The crowd at Ashton's headquarters erupted in cheers and applause. Confetti rained down as Ashton took the stage, his face beaming with joy and gratitude. He thanked his supporters, his staff, and his family for their unwavering support. He praised the democratic process and called for unity and reconciliation. He also acknowledged Harding's efforts and wished him well. In his victory speech, Ashton reaffirmed his commitment to serving the people with integrity and honesty. He promised to continue fighting for their interests, to defend their rights, and to work tirelessly to create a better future for all. He also vowed to root out corruption and hold those who abuse their power accountable. Ashton's victory was not just a personal triumph, it was a victory for decency, integrity, and the principles of democracy. It sent a message that voters were tired of the cynicism and corruption that had plagued the political system for too long. It showed that they were willing to support leaders who were honest, principled, and committed to serving the public interest. In the aftermath of the election, Ashton returned to Washington, D.C. with renewed vigor and determination. He continued to fight for his constituents, to advocate for his policies, and to challenge the status quo. He also became a mentor to young politicians, encouraging them to uphold the highest ethical standards and to prioritize the needs of the people over personal gain. Ashton served out his final term with distinction, leaving a legacy of integrity and public service that would inspire generations to come. He proved that it was possible to be a successful politician without compromising one's principles, that honesty and integrity could be a winning strategy, and that the people would ultimately reward those who served them with dedication and selflessness. Years later, after retiring from the Senate, Ashton remained active in public life. He founded a nonprofit organization dedicated to promoting ethical leadership and civic engagement. He traveled the country, speaking to students, community groups, and political organizations, sharing his experiences and inspiring others to get involved in the democratic process. He also wrote a memoir, detailing his life in politics and offering his insights on the challenges facing the nation. The book became a bestseller, and Ashton's voice continued to resonate with the public. He became a respected elder statesman, sought out for his wisdom and guidance. He remained a symbol of integrity and hope, a reminder that even in the darkest of times, it was possible to make a difference. Ashton's life was a testament to the power of principle, the importance of public service, and the enduring strength of the human spirit. He proved that one person, armed with honesty, integrity, and an unwavering commitment to the common good, could change the world. Even in his later years, Ashton never lost his passion for justice and equality. He continued to advocate for the marginalized and the vulnerable, speaking out against injustice and inequality wherever he saw it. He used his platform to promote education, healthcare, and economic opportunity for all. He also became a vocal advocate for campaign finance reform, arguing that the influence of money in politics was undermining democracy. He supported efforts to limit campaign spending, increase transparency, and empower small donors. Ashton believed that a healthy democracy required an informed and engaged citizenry, and he dedicated his life to promoting civic education and participation. He encouraged young people to get involved in politics, to run for office, and to become agents of change. He also worked to bridge divides and foster dialogue across ideological lines. He believed that even those with opposing viewpoints could find common ground and work together to solve the challenges facing the nation. Ashton's legacy extended far beyond his political achievements. He was remembered not only for his policies and his accomplishments, but also for his character, his integrity, and his unwavering commitment to doing what was right. He was a role model for aspiring politicians, a beacon of hope for the disenfranchised, and a symbol of integrity for the nation. His life was a testament to the power of principle, the importance of public service, and the enduring strength of the human spirit. He proved that it was possible to be a successful politician without compromising one's values, that honesty and integrity could be a winning strategy, and that the people would ultimately reward those who served them with dedication and selflessness. Thomas Ashton, the politician who served the people with integrity and honesty, left an indelible mark on the nation, inspiring generations to come to strive for a better, more just, and more equitable world. His story served as a reminder that even in the face of adversity, one person can make a difference, and that the pursuit of truth and justice is always worth the fight.